Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. Today I'm doing a little video on Gamefowl. And I get a lot of people that beg me, do more Gamefowl videos, do more Gamefowl videos. Well, today I want to talk to you about why I don't do a lot of Gamefowl videos. In the last 2 to 3 weeks, I have gotten several comments on old videos about the water situation here. People are adamant that I need to dump out the water and put clean water. Oh, it's so awful. One guy, I'd hate to be a chicken on your yard. And I don't know if this is something like he goes around and pretends to be a chicken at people's house, but I didn't want to hurt his feelings and let him know I really didn't want him out here scaring my kids, trying to pretend like he was a chicken in the cage. I let him down easy. But yesterday, guy get on there, he's been raising chickens for 40-something years. His family, they've never had chickens get sick and die. They dump their water out and... Y'all, number one, he ain't raising chickens if they ain't had one get sick and die. I don't believe that at all. So right there I knew he was lying. The next thing is chicken communities are by far, and the Gamefowl people are by far the worst community of people. A lot of this is because the reason they're into it is they like to fight chickens, and the reason they like to fight chickens is a lot of them have this arrogant attitude to begin with. So I steer away from those communities of people. Now, I'm not saying that everybody that raises Gamefowl chickens or that fights chickens is bad people. I'm just saying in a whole, that community is where, and I've been in black powder communities, I've been in traditional bow communities, I've been in foraging communities, and the foraging medicinal plant community is by far the best group of people that there are. So I have had experience with like collective groups of people on social media now, because on social media brings out the worst in people. Because you can hide behind a phone screen and you can say things to people that you would not dare say if they was standing there face to face. Let's get that fact clear. So the reason I don't do a lot of Gamefowl videos is for 2 reasons. Number one, people do not like the way I raise chickens. Is they have the worst attitude and come in. If you don't do it the way they want it done, they coming at you. So number 2 would be, that's all number one. The community of people and their comments, that arrogancy, that's number 1. I don't know how I worded that, but anyway. Number 2 is when you're dealing with these type of chickens, everybody outside of that automatically thinks you're fighting chickens. I do not fight chickens, okay? I'm one of these people that I believe in live and let live. I'm going to do what I think on this property and live the life the way I want to live it and believe what I want to believe. You ask for my opinions, I'll help you. I'm not going to argue with you about no whole lot unless I think it's imperative that you know for your safety or whatever, or for somebody else's safety, that you know the right way of something. But just opinions, you do like you want to. If you want to fight your chickens, I have no problem with that. I'm not one of these people that thinks everybody shouldn't fight chickens. Me, I'm not fighting my chickens. Now, if they get out here and fight, I may watch them for a minute to see which one's the toughest one, because it's naturally in that chicken. They're going to create a pecking order, and these type of chickens are going to fight till there's one of them's dead. Unless you separate them. That's just how they are. You don't teach them to fight like dogs. You have to teach that dog to fight. It's not just naturally in every dog. You have to breed them in such a way that they want to fight. So, but as far as me going out here and want to tie a knife and betting on this chicken and all, I don't agree with that. I just don't. I'm not mad at you if you do. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. A lot of people, if they don't do it, they don't want nobody else to do it. I don't care what you do with your chicken. It's a chicken, okay? This is not people out here. This is not like my pets. These are birds I raise because I like to hear them crow. I like to gather eggs, and they are good egg-laying chicken, and these birds can evade predators when they're out loose because they can fly better, get up into trees. They can survive on the ground a lot better, which I normally keep them pinned up, so it really wouldn't matter with me. I just like this breed of chicken, okay? So the reason I don't do a lot of gamefowl videos is because somebody's going to get on here and they're going to flag me if they disagree with the way I'm handling my birds, the way I'm doing the water, and get me banned. And the first thing they'll say is, this guy's fighting chickens. Well, you have no proof of that. And the reason you don't have no proof of that is because I don't fight chickens, and you can't have proof of it. You can assume all you want to. So the water situation. Everybody sees my water. I zoomed in and give you some close-up videos of it right now, and I'm sure it has burnt some people up already. You already on that keyboard just, as hard as you can pick. So, stop your chicken pecking fingers before you hit send on this. When I first got into gamefowl and started fooling with them, I rescued my chickens from some guys that fought chickens and realized, hey, they didn't really like it. It really wasn't profitable. Their chickens was getting sick and dying, and they was getting killed at the fights or whatever. They getting at it. They had some really beautiful birds. Don't know really how well they performed. Apparently they wasn't that great, or they wouldn't have been getting rid of them. Now, I paid good money for a couple of them because I really liked them. They were old birds, come from good family names and such. And that's kind of what I allured to. I like this breed. I want to keep it pure. I want to see how good I can do with them. So for the first 2 or 3 years I raised chickens, man, every time I turned around, they was dying. I get on these Gamefowl Facebook pages. Get my information there. Man, keep them pens clean. You need to put red sand or something in there. Keep straw in there. Move them around on a regular basis, and you'll have healthy chickens. Man, they was getting sick down. But I noticed all these guys that had these healthy chickens doing that was this Hurst fella on there was really pushing medicine. He has all this, and I'm talking about, y'all, we talking about $50 bottles and $100 bottles of medicine. Everybody on there is buying it. You can mention a sick bird, and oh man, they all point to this guy. You need his medicine. Okay. I didn't know that medicine, but I knew what kind of medicine. I talked to some people around here that been fooled. Oh, I give them Tylon, and I give them this, and I give them that, and man, I got ivermectin, and I've got all different kind of bottles of medicine in there, y'all. I have got B12 in bottles. I've got all this apple cider vinegar ever so often, and I was doing all this stuff. Man, chick, every time I turn around, there's one sick, dying. What happened to this? I don't know. Well, some of it was Merrick's disease. That kind of gets in them from wherever they come from and develops, and once it starts, you really can't stop it. But I had one that got Merrick's, throwed some plantain in there. He got over it. Now, was it Merrick's? I didn't go have no scientific test on it to prove that it was, but he was stumbling around in a pen like he was drunk, just like 2 or 3 of the other ones had before they died. I talked to people. They said, if they get Merrick's, you must cut his head off. Put him out of his misery. Don't let him suffer. I agreed with that. I don't want to see anything suffering. So I had a few die. There was this guy that showed up on this Gamefowl page, Mr. Glenn Duckworth. He said he was recently getting back in pen. He said, I just turned my chickens out and let them naturally do. He said, they fend for themselves. He said, they weed themselves out. He said, the sick ones die off. He said, and after a year or so, he said, I've got healthy birds. He said, I don't keep everything spick, span, and clean. Man, you see on there, and these people were more impressed with their pens and how their pens were designed and how fancy and how much money they had spent on these pens, because they had spent $1,000 on some of these birds. I can understand their reason for thinking it needed to be spick and span. He said, man, we turned them loose in the yard. We've been raising chickens all my life. He said, I've been away from it for a lot of years. And he said, I don't do all this spick, span, clean stuff. And man, they talked about him like he was a dog. How stupid he was and how ignorant, how science is this. And you had to clean them, and you needed to dump water every day. That water, you need to be able to see the bottom of that bowl. It needed to be clean water. They wouldn't drink that water and all this kind of stuff. Well, those are the same comments I'm getting on my videos. Well, you know what? I believe in the old timers knowing a little more about what they talking about. I've read the Foxfire books. They've been keeping chickens alive for thousands of years since creation of man. Let's see. see what this old man, I'm sick of chickens dying. I've done tried the medicine. I'm not no vet, no doctor. But I have tried to give them the shots. I've tried to do like I heard, and some of them got better, but most of them you could doctor them and they died anyway. So I quit changing water. Now I do come out here and fill them up, and if it gets full of pine straw and full of dirt, they will scratch it full of dirt in a few weeks. I do dump them out occasionally because they get more trash in there than it's got water, and for the main purpose that it'll hold more water the less pine straw and pine cones that's in the jug. Common sense. So I do dump them out occasionally, but I don't go every day and make sure that water looks like it come out of a bottle. And what I have noticed is I ain't had a sick chicken in about the last 4 years. I had one chicken this past winter that died from sickness. Now, I've lost some chickens, mainly predators, mainly because some of my pens need rebuilding. They're not as secure a pen, but now I have lost 3 chickens out of some of the most reinforced stout pens that I own. These hog panel built pens like you see this rooster right here in, that is a solid hog panel. They're crimped together. Some of them are welded together. And, well, if a bird, they get them out of there, well, then it's really not a whole lot to be in. It's the animal. If it's determined it's going to get that chicken, it's going to get it. I lost 1 chicken to sickness. 1. There's probably 150 birds here. Now, I've had some die. Them hens over there, they'll get to fighting when you reintroduce new pens. Now, I have lost some babies. Some of them got too hot. Some of them, I had 1 chicken die because they dumped their water over. We were gone and it didn't get set up. They went like 2 days in the heat without water. Okay? That's not sickness. They died of thirsted to death, whatever you want to call it. Do I think that is great? Would I normally tell that? No, that is, you don't want that happening. You need to be more diligent, but sometimes things happen. That's reality. The reason the 1 chicken got sick is back there in the winter, we had a storm and it was pouring down rain and the wind blew the tin. I had rocks up there. For some reason, the rock got moved, got knocked off. I don't know, a limb fell, maybe hit it, knocked it off. I don't remember what happened. The top come off the pen though, and it rained on that rooster and drenched him. Cold weather, he's sopping wet. And I put a top back on it the next day and tried to get it, but he didn't recuperate from it. The reason that I'm telling you all of this is the nastier that pen is, the better that chicken builds up his natural immune system. Am I saying that this is the only way to have healthy birds? Absolutely not. You can dump your water every day, and you can administer medicine, and you can be diligent with all these things and have healthy birds. But if you're like me, and this is something you come out here, you're busy, and you just got time to feed them and check on them every day, and that's about it, well then, they drink in the water. They don't complain about the water being dirty. Chicken scratching in the dirt, digging in stuff. I mean, what difference does it make if he's eating the dirt off the ground or drinking the dirt out of the water? You see what I'm saying here? Chickens require a certain amount of dirt in their craw to help them digest food. That is why a lot of people add oyster shells in there. It has a mineral in there, but one of the number one things with the oyster shells is it helps grind up the food once it gets in their craw, which is a sac under their neck, right in the top before it goes into their stomach, that it sits there and kind of breaks down before it goes on down in their body. I've seen this personally because I had a critter that ripped one open and I could see the seed and all and the corn and everything in his craw sitting there. I thought, well, he won't never make it, and he did. He recuperated. Their immune system builds up from this impurities. That green algae that you see in a lot of that water, people talking about, oh, that green water, I wouldn't drink. That green stuff is a lot more beneficial than it is harmful. I look in that water and I see a lot of these wiggle tails. You know, it's a mosquito larva. Well, in a chicken that has not favored a lot of or been introduced to a lot of impurities, he may get sick from eating that stuff. But a chicken that has been naturally used to that, he's going to eat all them things. He'll drink that water and eat them things, and they go down like food, just like him eating maggots off of something or whatever else. You thought, oh, it's nasty. Chickens eat that stuff, okay? That's the first thing you need to realize. This is an animal that picks up ticks and eats them. That tick has Lyme disease, okay? That tick bites you, it'll kill you. That chicken can eat it and it don't bother him. So to sit here and say, hey, I want my chickens to eat like they're eating human food and have spick span water, like, you know, you got to give them Dasani water every day. Y'all, here's the problem. I'm going to raise my birds the way I want to raise them, and you're not going to change my mind because I have tried both ways and I know which way works better for me. That don't mean everything's going to work better for you that way. You figure out what you like and the way you want to raise your birds, and you raise your birds that way, and leave me alone and let me raise mine like I want to. I'm not fighting birds. I'm not caring how tough that bird is. I'm not trying to train them. I'm not doing these, what they call a keep, where they take it and change his fight and try to see how strong they make. I'm not interested in all that. All I want is that bird to be healthy and alive and to raise other birds. That's all I do with them. I have people that beg me to buy them. Well, I'm going to tell you something. My birds are naturally pretty tough because in building that immune system, it builds that natural chicken himself up. So that's kind of the reason that you don't see a lot of Gamefowl, because every time I put Gamefowl videos up, I get a lot of positivity. There's a lot of you guys that are really good guys and really good girls that follow my channel from the Gamefowl. But I don't do it because it really frustrates me when people want to take what I have tried here, because I do a lot of experimentation. I have to personally know. I don't just take like, well, somebody said this, so it's the truth. No, I have to try it and see, is that the truth? And that's how I find out things. Medicinal plants, I test them. I found out medicinal plants work really well for chickens. Give them plantain. You cure a lot of the gut issues. You cure a lot of sickness with plantain. Wild lettuce, they'll eat it. Pokeweed, they'll eat it. All of that stuff has medicinal properties that naturally helps that chicken from the land. So this is the way I want to raise my birds. I'm not spending a bunch of money on medicine. So if the purpose of me leaving water unclean for a reason, y'all, it is not because I am too lazy to stop and dump water out of a pen. It's not it. It's not that hard. And for those of you that would want to say, hey, it's because you're lazy, I invite you to come over here and follow me around step for about a week. And let's see how you hold up at the end of it. I promise you, you'll be dragging, because everybody else that's come tried to follow me has. Now, I don't work as hard as I used to. I take it easy nowadays. But it's not a lack of effort and laziness the reason I don't dump that water. It is because I'm building their immune system, and I have, for the last 4 years, seen it work. Now, with baby chickens on the ground, you can do them that way. If you put them in that brooder coop, an overly amount of other chickens' feces is bad and causes coccidia. I have not found a natural way to battle it. So the Corid is my method there. Yes, I have tested some things. I have not found anything that works efficiently yet, because one of the reasons I have found that the Corid works, and I'll show you the Corid. This is Corid. It is a clear looking liquid. It is whatever that meant. I can't say that word. Ampholium or amprolium oral solution. It is, I think, designed for cattle. 10 milligrams per 2.2 pounds of body weight. But anyway, it tells you there's a lot of instructions on the back. But this is Corid. And this is what I use for baby chicks that's in a brooder coop. I do not put this in the water in a chicken that's out here in the dirt with its mama. Never lost any of the cocci out here. In that brooder coop, they will get it every time. So yes, I use a little medicine. This is the only medicine I use ever. Now occasionally I come through here and I pour a dash of apple cider vinegar in their water. Helps them. It also helps that water. So these are things that I just wanted to talk about today while I'm out here fixing to feed these chickens. I get a lot of people, they want to know why you don't make game. Well, this is the reason. Because I get tired of arguing with people over the same stupid things. If you don't like the way I'm raising my chickens, shut your mouth and go on about your business. There's plenty of other videos for you to watch. You don't have to be here. I'm doing what I do for a reason. If you're interested in learning that, by all means, stick around. Thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. We'll see you next time. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. And then don't worry about the way I'm doing it. We'll see you next time. So what is in here? I mixed 2 bags of chops with 1 bag of scratch, and I use a good scratch, and it has a lot of, I don't know, millet and other stuff in it. Sometimes I add wheat to it.